This podcast is all about learning to ask for help. It's not easy these days when some of us are facing either financial difficulty or family problems, family issues, health issues. There's quite a number of us out there that bury our troubles, bury our issues deep down within our soul, and we struggle to ask the people that are close to us for guidance and for help. And sometimes this is a generational issue. It is probably because in our particular culture, our particular family, our particular experiences, it's foreseen that we really shouldn't ask for help. It's a sign of weakness, for example. Some individuals don't ask for help because they don't want other individuals purely just to know their business. We understand that. We understand why. Because, there are people out there that do gossiping, that talk behind your back, so to speak, and they're not very helpful, not very supportive. On the other hand, there are individuals out there that care about us, that love us, that nurture us, and want to see us grow. And sometimes we as individuals find it extremely hard to say, I'm struggling financially, or I'm struggling mentally or physically. I'm struggling due to losing my job. I'm struggling because I don't know what to do. I'm struggling because my partner has lost work, or I have lost work, or, whatever the scenario is. Obviously with COVID, with 2020 having a huge global impact upon the world, so many of us have found ourselves in those particular predicaments. And as I had previously recorded on one of my other podcasts, unfortunately a huge number of people have gone for suicide as an option, which is not the option that's best suited for us, as you're aware. Some individuals are in a predicament where they don't tell their family that they're struggling. And it's very, very hard to try and even help that individual when they're not even telling friends, let alone the people that are close to them that could help them and support them. It's hard to break free from that pattern and from that cycle that you have, been defeated or deflated, or but basically, your perception is that you don't want people to know your business, or you don't want them to think ill of you. That's not the reality. The reality is that, if we are struggling and if we are finding things hard, we should be able to open up to our close loved ones, who we trust, who we care about, and, those people hopefully reciprocate that behaviour to us too. Sometimes it's not easy, we appreciate that. Sometimes it's very difficult. I'll give you a recent scenario. Somebody that I know is potentially seriously very ill, and rather than explaining to the family or explaining to certain family members that are extremely close and obviously care and want to help and support, that individual has decided to close up about all their issues, not even hinting that they are ill, not even telling somebody that they're ill, but physically somebody now is putting the jigsaw pieces together, and it's becoming apparent that this individual is potentially seriously very ill. Now, rather than explain to a family member what the situation is, they've gone into denial. Now, that could be for a number of reasons. Obviously, maybe that person is coming to terms with the health issues they have. Maybe they don't want to accept that unfortunately they're going to have to pass away. Perhaps they're protecting their children by not disclosing the scenario. All of these predicaments are different from one another. We're aware of that. But the loved ones are going to be absolutely devastated, And I'm sure that if, with a bit of courage, because you've had to have courage, listening to that news, listening to the fact that you are seriously ill, that's not an easy thing to have to listen to, let alone accept. So there are times when for each of us, we have to try to develop our particular inner strength and inner circle and open up a little bit where we can. Some individuals are able to, preach that news to the whole world. We'll know individuals like that tell everybody their business. Even people that are not related to them, they tell everybody, and that's up to them. There's no judgment here. But there are situations where I'm sure if we raise our voice a little, and we raise our voice to the right people that we know are not going to look down upon us, that are not going to be judgmental, that are not going to throw stones, so to speak. We want the best for our loved ones. We want the best for them to continue being in this world the way they are. And as I explained, the predicament with COVID has really stretched and really pushed and really angered a lot of individuals, and it's frustrated individuals as well. The financial consequences for so many individuals across not just a city or a place or a country, globally, has meant quite a lot of families are suffering, quite a lot of individuals are suffering and are afraid to ask for help. The first thing is finding that voice, finding the courage, finding the gumption to be able to even ask. And my way of looking at things in life is, and I learnt this early on, is what's the worst that person can say to me? There are two responses, yes and no. If the answer's no, fine, not a problem. You can deal with that. However, if the answer is yes, then, that particular scenario can be resolved quite easily. And sometimes we feel, quite shy, quite embarrassed, quite fragile to ask for help. And again, this is about recognizing it's okay. It is totally okay to be in that particular position, because you're not the only one. Across the globe, millions of people are unfortunately in a situation where they are feeling, fragile financially, emotionally, physically, mentally. COVID has, changed quite a lot of people's predicaments and situations. Some people have struggled keeping a roof over their head, keeping themselves fed. And, it's hard when there's so many financial outcomes relying upon you. Some of the banks, some of the things that rely upon you financially are not as understanding. But around us and in our circle, if you are fortunate enough to have loved ones that are kind and caring, that are looking out for you, hopefully you can slowly start to ask for help. Now, if you do come across someone that says no to you, that's fine. They might have predicaments where they personally can't explain or can't support you or can't help you. You might be fortunate enough to have a small circle of friends that have been there at your beck and call throughout your life for whatever it is you needed. Some of us are in different predicaments where we've learned that this particular person is actually quite toxic for us, we don't need them anymore. And that's not the friend that you're going to have to ask for help from. Other people have various other scenarios where they have friends that are strong, that are loyal, friends that they know that they can go to and ask for help. And it's that particular scenario that you're fortunate enough to have someone that you can do that with. Not all of us are in that particular predicament where we have someone that is able to support us and able to help us to move forward and to move on. And that's the beauty of friendship. If you're in a situation where you are struggling and you are needing help, like I've said, raise that voice, test the boundaries, learn from yourself to see who is your friend and who is not necessarily an enemy, but someone who's not going to support you. That to you might end up being your security blanket, might be the person that hopefully you can rely upon, that person who can give you some sort of financial support, emotional support. It might be physical, it might be mental support. in all sorts of ways. But the main thing is just to be able to reach out and to voice, your concerns, and to voice the fact that you need help. We don't want individuals drowning in their sorrows, drowning in their pain, drowning in, discomfort. And, there are people out there who are exceptionally needy, been there, done that, got that t-shirt, grown out of it. But it took a long time to be able to address that issue within myself. I hope that if anyone is out there and they are struggling, they are able to seek some guidance and able to seek some help from the people that are around them. And I hope that you are in a place of peace and a place of tranquility and a place of love and a place of acceptance where you can actually do that. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Don't be feeling guilty or feeling cowardice or feeling, embarrassed, especially embarrassed. Because if you've got good friends or good people around you, there's no need to feel those particular feelings or emotions. And also, don't feel resentment if the person says, I'm sorry, I can't help you. And maybe they say, I'm sorry, I can't help you at this time. I can help you later on, for example. So all of us will have those particular scenarios, those particular predicaments in our lives. And hopefully we can search help and we can seek help and we can gain help and guidance from the people that hopefully support us and love us and accept us for who we are. I'm sure we're going to do some other self-help style podcasts around topics like this. But if this particular podcast resonates with you, sit back, reflect, review, look at what you need to do to help yourself move forward. Don't keep everything closed and locked and everything hidden, because we have got people in our lives that care for us, we have got people in our lives that love us, and we have got people in our lives that we can relate to and rely upon. We just have to find them, or we just have to accept that they're our friends and that's who they are. Wherever you are on your particular journey of finding help, I wish you peace, I wish you love, I wish you joy, and I wish you all the best in whatever situation you find yourselves in. Thank you for listening. Take care. Goodbye for now.